What's really good? Happy Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. Can't believe it's already March. March Madness. So, yeah, welcome back to The Real Talk with Kas
and Kai.
This is Season 2, Episode 5. Today, we're going to let Kai take the lead, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it, y'all. So glad to be here and really excited to talk about this topic. You guys like our new mics?
I know. I was going to say, you guys like our little baby mics.
How you doing?
So, baby mics. But,
hella cute.
So for today's topic, I just thought it was easy to, like, just bring up any kind of thing when it comes to this topic. Unpopular opinions. So, like, literally any, like, you know,
controversial.
Anything how you can say, like, oh, this is how I feel about this topic, and then this person will be like, okay, this is how you feel, and then agree or disagree. So, well,
that's what we're here for, so let's
unpopular opinion. So, Mom, is there a specific unpopular opinion or opinion that you have to start off this one?
Well, I mean, since you asked, do we want to talk about my unpopular opinion regarding or around pronouns?
That's up to you. If you want to do that, we can.
Okay, well, don't hate me, guys.
Mind you, this is her opinion. I have my own opinion. Everybody else has their own opinion.
Everybody has their opinion. So no judgment. I'm just
so you're
sharing
saying how she feels.
Mine. This is our podcast, and that's what we're here for, to talk about it. So regarding pronouns, maybe it's because I am an 80s baby, and so like my generation of millennials are
different.
Yeah, it's different. So it's like, honestly, I don't know how long pronouns have been around. I first heard about it.
It's like a new gen thing.
Yeah, it's given new gen for me. So somebody asked me that actually kind of like in a professional setting a couple years ago. And so I was like, my pronouns, it would be, well, technically I'm married, but like I just go by Miss, like capital MS. And she was like, no, like, you know, like she, her, them. I was like,
they, them.
What? Like, yeah, I guess when you break it down, like English wise, that is a pronoun, but I just feel like, I don't know, like Kai and I were talking about the other day, I'm just like, when is it too much? You know, like when do you draw the line? Like,
I don't
for
know if
me,
there's ever,
it's
like,
just,
I don't know if there's ever going to be a line drawn just now to the new generation. I don't think there's ever going to be a line drawn, but I hear what you're saying.
And that's my thing, where I just think that there should be a line drawn. Like, if you don't draw a line, like, what are your boundaries? Like, what will you not do? Like, where is the standard for yourself? And right? So I don't know, just that, the whole thing with pronouns, of course, you know, if somebody tells me...
Do you think it's a yay or nay? Like, what are you saying?
It's a big nay for me.
Okay, so
it's
you say
a big
no.
thumbs down, extra. It's giving... What do you mean? There's girl, boy. And if you're saying they and them, that's like talking in third person. So then, which is different, right? So then we really got deep with it when we were talking about this, because then I was like, okay, so that leads into like trans, because I myself know a trans girl, right? And so I was like, so like for her, from what I know, she'll go by her, them. So I'm just like, see, that's kind of, that's not fair a little bit. Like, that's giving fraudulent a little bit to me, because you did all of that because
that's kind of a little not offensive, but
I don't think that's offensive. I don't think that's offensive at all.
Fraudulent is not the right word.
I would never say this to that person. If this person or anybody told me that they wanted to be addressed. I feel. Hold on.
I was just saying.
Let me say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna stand on it, and I'm gonna actually explain to you why I feel like that. Like I said, no judgment. You don't have to agree. And honestly, I don't expect anyone that's like after my generation to understand. Like, the whole thing of pronouns is your thing. The whole thing of trans being normalized is a new generational thing. It's not for me. We already know, like, I'm gay. I get it. So it's just like, again, where do we draw the line? So going back to the trans girl that I know, she wants to have her pronouns be addressed as her, them. And I said to Kai, okay, and I'm just sharing this conversation that we had in private with you guys. So please don't judge. I'm just sharing. And hopefully it'll make sense when I explain, or just explain a little bit why I feel like that. I was just like, I feel like that's kind of fraud because, okay, we as a society, as a generation, have now normalized transgender, which, going back to what I just said, for me, it's just male, female, what were you born, what were you assigned at birth, male or female. There is no they, there is no them. That's talking about yourself, girl or boy, in third person, which is different. Okay, so then I said, the trans girl that I know, you have done all of this to be addressed as a woman. That's fine. Everyone addresses and knows you as her. But then I feel like where I said that it's fraudulent is that you're still hanging on to the them. When it's them, it's automatically not female or male. It is both. It is one or the other. It's whatever you're feeling. So again, where I said, where do we draw the line? When is it too much? It's giving a lot. As a parent, this is what I tell him when he's shared things with me about like the trans community, and just like, Mom, like, you shouldn't say that, or like, you can't say that. And I'm just like, oh, like, to each his own, but my personal opinion is to take it to that level, to cross over into transgender, that I feel like that person would probably have some personal turmoil. And, you know, they need to have mirror talks with themselves. They need to take that to God, their higher power, so on and so forth. But about pronouns, that's why I feel how I feel. It's just, like I said, the way that it was brought to me, I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I was like, dang, I'm the last one to find out about that. Like, that was very different for me. So, and I think that's a lot to do with my generation, because I've just, we didn't have all these things. There's so many things. Like, we're gonna, in a second here, we've got non-binary, where you don't even want to declare one or the other. It's kind of like how you're feeling for that day. Like, I feel that, but it's just a lot. So next question.
So I guess feel? On my 2 cents, honestly, it does. Pronouns it started in 2021. I had looked it up. So it's fairly good. So Thank it's fairly you. New.
We love to be educated.
It is a new gen type thing.
Okay.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
I just think with pronouns, it's like how my mom said, it's either he or she. I can agree with that. When it comes to like the they/them and like the other pronouns, I just think it's kind of hard, especially for someone that's not educated or doesn't have any knowledge about it. It's kind of hard for them to understand. And then the meaning of they/them is like a group of people, like it's a plural. So it's like it is hard to explain, where it's like when someone wants to be addressed as they/them, it's kind of like, okay, like, are you talking about just you by yourself, or is it a group of people?
That's which is hard. Said. And then if you're trans, that's a whole nother world. But you want a naturally born woman, a woman that's given birth naturally to children, to address you and respect you as a woman, which another conversation that we'll get into is something called performative allyship, which is basically like you saying, like me saying, I'm going to fight for my best friend who's trans. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to go to rallies. I'm going to put on like I am trans, but I'm not. That's what performative allyship is. And when Kai and I were talking about that, from the conversation of pronouns led into that conversation, and I'm just like, I don't understand performative allyship either. And that's something that I see a lot in his generation and generations after mine, is that these young kids are very passionate, which I get. I'm a very passionate person. I'm a fire sign. I've been told like either like you love me or you hate me, because I can be a lot, right? So with that being said, I just felt like I just don't understand performative allyship, and really anything to where you could fight so hard and be so passionate about it. Like, how passionate can you be about something that you've never experienced yourself, right? And we can take that as anything. Black people, right? People, brown colored people, anybody of a minority, women, many things, right? How can someone really go to bat and put on and fight for it the same as they would if they were it, if they had experienced it, right? So
I was gonna say, I think with that, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not necessarily gonna say I 100% agree with you, Mom. I just think there's just some people that, like, saying, for instance, if I had a friend that was trans, I'm not gonna be like, I may not, depending on who the person is, if I don't like what they're doing, I'm not gonna let the person know that. I'm still gonna be supportive of them just because of who they are, necessarily.
Of course. Yes, that I think is just being a good human. You're not going to, if you're hanging out with your gay or trans friend in a bar or in a social setting and you're not gay or trans, whatever it is, like, and somebody starts coming at your friend because of that, like, of course you're not going to sit there and not say anything. That's not performative allyship. In fact, I'm going to look it up because it's very specific in the fact that, like, you're going hard for something that you've never really experienced and that you really don't truly know. And it's also if that person doesn't take the same passion and same stance as you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me being like, oh, like, don't come at my friend. And my friend's like, oh, like, doesn't want to draw attention. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like.
Oh, I'm looking it up right now.
Thank you. Performative allyship.
Okay, I have it right here. Okay, so it says performative allyship, a form of superficial activism, focuses on the appearance of allyship rather than meaningful action. It can particularly be harmful in the workplace to organizations and the individuals that compromise it. Performative allyship creates a false sense of progress and
inequality.
Yeah, inequality.
So, in layman's terms, or in simpler terms, that's basically saying that the
main thing is focuses on the appearance of allyship rather than meaningful action.
Yeah, and that they take a superficial approach, right? Meaning that, like I said, in that example, I'm in the bar with my friend who is trans, who is gay. I am not. I am straight. I've never been trans or gay. And somebody looks at my friend crazy. I'm automatically like on go, trained to go, ready to go. And I'm like, what's up? My friend's like, whoa, no, Cass, like, please don't do that. You know, I'm not a confrontational person. Like, the person didn't even say anything to me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, like, they need to know, like, you know what I mean? They need to respect you and your pronouns and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's going super hard, superficial for the look that you are an ally. Okay, so.
But, okay, question. So, does the person have to be of that community or of that thing to be an ally? Do you think, or no?
No, that's a great question. No. But if they are and they're doing that, that makes them, that's not they're no longer performative allyship. Performative allyship is somebody who is not, but is taking such a passionate, such a turned up, such an approach as if they are, for the superficial, for the look, for it to give something that it isn't, because you really don't know. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you're doing that allyship for a friend, but you are, that's totally different. You know, now you're like I feel you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel you, like, because I've been looked at like that. Like, I've had experiences like that because I am trans, because I am gay, or whatever the case may be. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, actually, a friend of mine told me about performative allyship, and I'm like, wow, like, tell me something. All these years, I was today years old when I learned that. I had never heard that before, and I was like, yeah, we need to talk about that on our podcast. And it was really cool because her feedback was like, yeah, like, honestly, she's from you guys, your generation specifically. So she's like, I see it a lot in my generation. Like, we're so passionate, but it's almost like it's just passion for passion's sake. Like, you really don't know about that life. And, like, with all the passion, what are you really truly doing? You know what I'm saying? So, kind of segue into another maybe unpopular opinion. Trigger warning, if this is something that would trigger with you. It doesn't for me, because I don't watch the news. I don't follow it. I believe that if you really want to know what's really going on, it's going to come from other sources and not mainstream news. So performative allyship, I think, is seen a lot with everything that's going on right now with Israel and Palestine. Okay, so I prefaced it in saying that I don't have one side or the other. I actually have ancestry from Israel and, the Jewish background. So I have a lot of respect for the culture. Any case in any culture, human genocide is not okay. The things that I have heard about and seen and the atrocities are horrible for any country to have them done to them, and then to turn around and, justify and do that back to another country is not right. But I was just saying that to say that a good example of performative allyship is a lot of times people with their stance representation of one or the other with what we're seeing with those countries that I mentioned. Because it's really interesting. I've seen a lot of people on my social media who, one thing that they all have in common, different influencers from different backgrounds, different cultures, but they're all very strong and passionate about that, right? And they've even posted like, I'm not going to support, and you guys know how much I love Starbucks, these big, huge companies, right? Because they support Israel, or they don't support Palestine, or whatever the case may be. But it's like, that's an example of performative allyship. Okay, whether we want to hear it or not, whether we want to really kind of measure ourselves up to that or not, it is what it is, right? But I brought that up to say that that's a good example, because really you don't know, you don't have family in these countries, you don't come from that culture. We really, the life that we have, the opportunities that we have in America to wake up and not ever have to experience the things that we see on the TV snippets, right? We really don't know what's going on. And then to be like, well, I'm not going to support this company because they don't support Palestine, or they do support Israel, whatever the case may be. It's kind of crazy, because it's like, if you really measured companies that you are a consumer of every single day up against those type of things, you wouldn't probably buy a lot of things, right? Because like Chick-fil-A. You like Chick-fil-A? I don't eat meat, but I love Chick-fil-A when I did. I know a lot of people that will gladly, patiently wait in that line wrapped around the building for Chick-fil-A. But apparently they don't support, and it's not a secret that they don't support the LGBTQIA community. And it's, but we'll still go and sit in that line and wrap around the building for that Chick-fil-A. So it's like, that's performative allyship. Unpopular opinion, but it's facts. And yeah, what do you guys think about it?
So we'll do like one more unpopular opinion. So I found this one on Twitter. Someone stitched someone else's post, and the person that made the original post said, a private relationship with a little public flex here and there. And then the unpopular opinion someone stitched under that was, you don't have to hide your partner's identity for it to be a private relationship.
Wow.
Honestly, I think for that, if you're gonna, there's like little things you could do to, not make your, I just think there's a lot of things that go into it if you're gonna have your relationship out on the internet.
Yeah.
Because, saying for instance, if I had a partner and I tag them on all the posts that I make with them, I'm 100% sure that if someone had a crush on my partner, they're going to try to reach out, which they shouldn't do because that's my partner. And that's just how social media works. Like, if anybody wants the person
reaching out for sure when you,
I
for sure,
I believe that they will.
Like,
there's so many.
What's wrong with people?
T right here. There's people that are in relationships that stay in my DMs, but do I say anything? No, because that's just not my tea. Dang. So, period. I don't know what to say to that. Like, just don't, if you don't want your relationship to get ruined or to possibly not be tarnished, don't put on social media. If you want to post them, okay, post them. That's it. Don't tag them. Don't do any of the sort. Just make it easier on both of you. Simple as that. Period. So yeah.
Okay, so spin off of that. If
wait, are you asking me a question or are you just saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't lose. I still have to answer that because that was good. I kind of agree with both of that in some way. So anyhow, I was going to say, what would you do if your friend's partner is hitting your DMs? Like, I won't say anything if you won't say anything. I just really been.
I would hope not, because the first person I'm going to send a screenshot to is going to be my best friend.
Turn
on
up.
Everything. Turn
up. What?
Yeah, no, I'm not. You're like, hey, your boyfriend, he's doing a little bit too much. So, yeah, get him.
So you would do that because I've also
I know there's some
heard
people that don't.
Luckily, I've never experienced, or at least not knowingly, like being cheated on or having to expose like a friend's partner trying to shoot their shot with me or anything like that. But I've heard in those situations that the person would respectfully shut that down with the person, like, no, like, how could you?
So good question.
But wouldn't say anything because that has ended friendships. Because there's something about.
So.
And it's crazy. Like, even with a screenshot, like, girl, like, bestie, like, nobody could tear us apart. Like, you will not believe this shit. I just want to let you know. And you already know I let that nigga know. Don't even try it.
Okay, so this is another spin-off question of what you just said. So saying, because there's a show, Love is Blind. Something happened like this on the show. So saying if the person, like, so it's the friend, and then you have the other friend, but one of the friends has a partner, and the partner DMs you. Do you reply or do you not reply? Like, do you open the message and say something, or
what are they saying though? What did they like? They tried to get at you.
Yeah, they're trying to get at you.
So it's the same thing that I said. Like,
yeah, I'm saying. So the friend's boyfriend hits you up in your DMs Do you reply to that, or do you say nothing?
No, I was saying in that, so I hopefully never have to be in that situation, never been in that situation. I would immediately reply to the person and let them know, like, don't try it. Absolutely not. Like, what's wrong with you? Who raised you? Like, the fuck? Don't try me, because I will say something. I would tell that to their partner.
Mm-hmm. I would just stay quiet and
I would screenshot it, and I wouldn't probably say anything to my friend.
Wait, so you wouldn't say anything to your friend?
I don't know, case by case basis, because
I'm letting my friend know,
like,
period,
I would want to let.
I
feel like I for sure would let my friend know.
Yeah,
I for sure would let my friend know.
Because if the roles were switched,
I would screenshot my response too. To be honest, I would screenshot my response too, and I would let my friend know. But I've heard people in the same situations. They did say something, and then they're like, I never again will say anything because I'm no longer friends with that person. Like, it's crazy. Sometimes human beings, like, I showed them the screenshot. I let them know respectfully as their friend, as their bestie, and I showed them a screenshot, and they still wanted to believe this person so much so that they kind of, like, were mad at me for bringing them the truth. So, again, I would immediately respond to the Dusty Daryl in the comments trying to shoot their shot and let them know, no way, like, what's wrong with you? And then I would immediately let my friend know, just want to let you know this just happened, because I think, like, sitting on it too, letting time go by, then when you do say something, like, you know, I know how it feels too to feel like you can't trust anybody. So, like, if you do that, I'm gonna be looking at you like, okay, cool. Like, you did tell me the truth, but that's looking like, why did you wait? You know, what was,
like I said,
what was it for you to do that?
I'm
because
just instantly,
I would have immediately wanted to get that off of me.
I would have instantly screenshot it, said nothing, sent it to my friend, and be like, there you go. Simple as that.
Yeah,
I mean, just to get it,
and I've honestly, I've heard that like somebody being like, I did, and we're no longer friends, and I never thought that would ever happen with my bestie or whatever the case may be. So if that ever happened again, I never would, and that's just so sad because, I mean, if you don't believe.
Like, why would you get?
If you don't believe what you see,
why would you get mad at your friend for telling you?
And you don't just acknowledge, like, the realness of your friend, and you were to get mad at your friend and not drop and be mad at that person, at your partner.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you guys were really friends from the beginning, so you can't miss what you never had. And I mean, sometimes things have to happen to show you what you have or what you don't. So what was the other question right before that? There was kind of like a 2-part question, the one that you got.
Oh,
it was really good.
No, it was the 2-part. So the first part was a private relationship with a little public flex here and there.
Okay, so yeah, that's really good.
Just putting your relationship out there, some like yeah, a little private. If it's a private relationship,
so
yeah, just putting it out there here and there. And then, yeah. And then the unpopular opinion. So.
Would say, in general, private life is a happy life. I choose to use my social media for me to promote just positivity, my financial services business, and really self-love, right? So with that, especially more so in the later years, I have gotten away from posting about my partner, about love, about really even my kids and my home and things like that, because
people are nosy.
People are nosy, and I have seen from doing that, posting some of that stuff in the past, that like people are nosy, people are negative, people like drama, and people will take something very basic that has no subliminal message or no intention behind it, and they'll make it whatever they want to, coming from a really messy, petty, drama-filled place, right? So that's why I found, especially in the later years as I've gotten older, where I'm just like using my social media for those things that I mentioned, and it's my page, so you really don't know that much about me. Anybody that would know like those private things is gonna be kind of more so in my inner circle, and they actually see me like in real life, right? So yeah, and there's something about it, like you had, how you had said, if you're going to be posting your partner, it's kind of like a mutual thing. I think that you guys kind of got to come to like the same place about and together, as to how much you're going to show on the internet, right? Because also, like, you don't want to be that partner who's always posting and tagging your partner, and then they never post and tag you.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say that.
What's that about? And then also, I don't know, like, that's what I don't like about social media anyways, is because it's like, honestly, like, you're only seeing highlight reels. Like, we know that. Like, rarely is it somebody really posting like their real transparent life, right? And that's what we like. We like to see those things. So it makes sense. I do agree with, like, a lot of times when I see couples on the internet that may have like vlogging channels, they do pranks or whatever, like, I don't know what it is, but just like opening up that gate, like a lot of them are not still standing together today.
Well, if you think about it, when you open your relationship to the open, like, you're opening the relationship to basically everybody.
Right. Public.
Think,
right.
like,
to people's opinions, to the hate, to the love, to all those things. So that's why we said, or you said that, and I totally agree with that, that like if you are going to be posting your partner a lot, like that's something that you guys should kind of like come to that conclusion together with, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of moderate what's too much, what you want to show, and make sure that everybody's on board. Because like I said, I wouldn't want to be that partner that's posting and tagging my partner all the time, and then they are not doing that. And
reciprocating
really
the
interesting,
same energy.
Kind of about that question is, I recently saw a close family member, and I hadn't seen them in real life in a long time, and they had asked me, like, are you still married? Like, and I was like, yeah, like, what? And
there's just like, some people that don't. Then there's some people that really don't post their partners just because, like,
right. And
there's no problem
like,
with that either.
Oh, like, no, I just want to make sure because, like, I don't ever see you post her anymore. And I'm like, yeah, like, honestly, like, it was a conscious decision that I had made. I wouldn't even say like a certain specific time ago that I was just like, I'm not going to do that, but it was really on my spirit. And like I said, that's something that I don't like about social media. So I try and kind of like recreate that without like,
I mean, it is kind of hard because like when you are posting your partner and then you kind of just stop out of the middle of nowhere, everyone's like, so what happened? Like, where did they go?
I mean,
did they do this? Did they do that? Like, where are they at now? Like,
I just thought it was so
that's
funny.
That's the only
like,
time. So
that's just so crazy, like where we are as a society in our culture, that it's like if you don't see it on social media, it doesn't exist. Like, it didn't happen. Like, are you guys okay? Are you guys still together? So I just thought that was hella funny. I'm like, yeah, everything is fine. Like, I just choose, like, kind of more so taking like a private approach, and I love it here. And they were like, no, I totally understand that. I just want to make sure because like I just didn't see her anymore. So
so yeah,
really interesting, right? So I hope you guys love that. It's really fun to spill tea.
Yes.
And I feel like you guys get to know.
These are the two topics I had for today. Basically, pronouns and relationships. Those are going to be these two minor things.
So comment down below. You guys let us know, what would you do in these situations? What did you do? How do you
feel about these
type
topics?
Situations happen to you? What about pronouns? Like, do you think that it has anything to do with your generation? Because, like I said, that was so new to me. And it was probably about 2021, too, that somebody had asked me that. And I was like, I feel like I'm the last person to find out.
And if you guys want to, give us some of your unpopular opinions so we can talk about it maybe on like a part 2.
Oh, I'd love to do a part 2. Because I feel like, honestly, like, I feel like Kai be the one that's like, all right, Mom, like, he'll be like tapping me like, let's wrap it up. Like, I'll be like, let's talk. Like,
no, I was like, we'll have a longer one today. I just think about the editing and the whole uploading process. I know that takes a while, so that's the only reason why I'd be like,
I know, but I was just like, but we haven't really been like giving you guys much for lately, which
we're back.
We're gonna be better at.
So yeah,
the length. Like, how do you guys even feel about lengths in general? Because I feel like even last year and a few months ago, I watch vlogs myself. I follow
and they do
quite a few vloggers, and I feel like, especially, like, I feel like if you had asked this a few months ago, like 6 months ago, people are like, give me a 30-minute cute vlog, like, not too much, just get into it just enough, right before you lose my interest, 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops. But lately, like, all the girls have been like really just stepping up the editing game, and it's like they're putting together more vlogs, and the vlogs are coming out like an hour and a half, and I'm watching. I'm here for it all. So how do you guys feel about that? We already told you that we are going to be doing some mini vlogs and mukbangs and things like that.
So stay tuned, because March 17th we're going to Murray the Scientist, and we're going to spend the whole day in the area. We're going to be in Newport Beach. So if there's any fans out there, we don't know. We only have almost like under 500 followers or whatever on everything altogether. But if anyone's out there and you guys want to be like, oh hey, or like just let us know, DM us. But yeah, we have that vlog coming. I get my braces off next Friday, and I'm
countdown match. Like,
so I'm probably gonna make a little TikTok idea thing for it. So, yeah, you guys will see that. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff coming. It's a new year, and we're just gonna be doing a whole bunch of new things. And
but Vibe Tribe, we want to get you guys involved. Like, we want to definitely
want you guys
cater
to
you all.
Too.
What you want to hear, what you want to talk about. We want you guys to be involved and engage in these conversations. You can see we've got quite an array. We definitely want to keep it cute, always positive, always mad love, and everything like that. But also, we want to talk about controversial things, unpopular opinions. Like I said, these were just a little bit of our opinions. Please don't judge.
Yes, it's our opinions, and if you want to let us know how you feel, you can.
Please do,
because you never know. It might teach us something. It might teach her something. It might teach me something. It might teach you guys something. But it's our opinions. It's our podcast. No offense to anybody. Just saying. That's just the real talk with Kas and Kai. Exactly. For real. That's why it's called the real talk with her and me. So yeah. Hope you guys liked today's episode. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and yeah, come join the Vibe Tribe.
Let's go.
And yeah, it's been real. This is the real talk with
Kas
and me, Kai, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode.
We'll see you guys. Can't wait to chop it up and talk to you guys next time. Till then, bye.